Hey, what's up, guys and girls? This is Midori, and I'm back with another episode of Draw Midori. Welcome back, guys. This is Midori, and this is another episode of Draw Midori. Now, today I will be working with another pinup drawing. Now, it's been a whole entire year since the last time I did a pinup drawing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, is when I draw like a sexy pose of a random character. It could be from anime, manga, it could be from Marvel Comics or DC. The last character I drew was Spider-Gwen. If you look on my channel, you can pretty much find that drawing. It's actually one of the most popular drawings that I did, and I didn't want my channel to be so focused on anything too sexualized so much. So I don't normally do these type of drawings as much, but I know there's a lot of people who subscribe to my channel and was looking for like a follow-up to the Spider-Gwen drawing that I did a year ago. So I finally decided to do a follow-up, and this particular character I'm working with is Silk. Now, Silk is a particular character for me. This is my first time drawing her. I actually don't know too much about her. I'm actually learning about her as I go along with you guys. So when I read the bio for this character later on in the video, everything I'm hearing from her is going to be new to me. And I'm sure if you clicked on this video, it might be new to you, or you probably already knew a lot about Silk. I mean, I heard of her. I see cosplay of her in Comic Cons, but I never really looked too much into the character. Now, for this pinup drawing, it's sort of like a swimsuit. So in terms of the design of her clothing, I try to keep it PG-13, but like a hard PG-17. So I made sure to not show any private parts or anything like that. But it's very sexualized and exaggerated in terms of her proportions. Back to her design of her suit. Now, Silk's design is a little bit, she's very similar to Spider-Gwen. Just I feel like she just doesn't have the hoodie. But in terms of the materials, and some of the designs, it's kind of is similar. It's just Spider-Gwen has that aqua blue accent with the webbing on her underarms, and with the hoodie, and a lot of the webbings on the inside of her hoodie. But with Silk, she's sort of a little bit kind of like Miles Morales in terms of the pattern design of the webbing, and it's like a combination of both Spider-Gwen and Miles Morales in terms of the concept design of the patterns, and but her spider symbol is not necessarily a spider. It looks more like a lightning bolt to me. Now, in terms of this composition, it's sort of like a half bust, so it's not going to be just a headpiece. You're going to get a little bit of her body, but not her full body in this particular drawing. Again, as you can see, as always, I always start with the mannequin pose, and she's doing a very sexualized kind of pose, sort of like, hey, look at me, hey, look at my chest, just the typical pinup model kind of pose. In terms of her design of like the type of style that I'm going with, is she's not necessarily Marvel or DC or anime, or I mean manga, but she's kind of like in between of how I'm going to draw her within my style. I could have drawn her more looking like a straight up Marvel character, but I don't know. For one, I haven't drawn Marvel realistic style in a long time, and two, it's my first time drawing Silk, so I didn't want to try too much to make it look like a famous artist's version of Silk, if that makes sense, of like any comic book cover that you will see of Silk. So I didn't want that. So I kind of wanted to stick within my style of how I usually draw, like my weird style that I do. That's very heavy-handed, very ink, sort of manga, sort of DC a little bit, you know, but not too manga-ish looking. So yeah, and yeah, I mean, personally, I wish. Now that I think about it, I wish I kind of did do something a little bit more creative in terms of her pose. But again, this is a pinup pose, so I try to keep in, you know, the style of a lot of pinup models of the type of pose that they do. So if you just Google pinup poses, you see a lot of models that the different poses that they do. So I wanted to keep it within that realm. So nothing too crazy, no dynamic poses in this particular drawing or anything like that. So yeah, I keep it pretty basic with this, but while still being stylized and sexual. And again, boobs, breasts, uh, it's very challenging to draw. They're not exactly just circular like bowling balls. They actually have gravity and weight. But the thing is, when you draw them really big, you sort of tend to fall back on what you think breasts look like and not exactly what they actually look like. You know, since it's so exaggerated, you know, you fall back on your imagination instead of like exactly how they really look in reality. But I wanted this pitch to be very exaggerated, so it looks more cartoonish and more manga-ish than it does like a DC and Marvel style, if that makes sense. Now for a little backstory on Silk. Sydney Moon of Earth 616, also known as Silk, is a Spider-Man character bitten by the same spider that bit Peter Parker. Her powers first started coming about when her organic webbing accidentally caused her to web up her parents. A man named by of Ezekiel Sims came and kidnapped Sydney to train her to use her powers to the best of her abilities. After some training, Ezekiel found out that Marlin was trying to find her, probably to kill her. Ezekiel then locked her in a room under a tower to protect her from Marlin. Although she knew the code to leave, she didn't because she knew the danger of Marlin trying to kill her. Now for a little on the original sin of her backstory. After being murdered, Uta's eyes revealed Sydney's entire story to Peter, who as Spider-Man freed Sydney, telling her that Marlin is dead. Sydney warned Spider-Man before and after opening the door, but after hearing that Marlin is dead, she makes a costume out of webs and goes to find her parents. Seeing that her parents move, she then proceeds to ask Spider-Man, when did Marlin die, with Spidey saying that he has died twice before. Sydney yells that her being separated from the world was all in vain. Sydney then pulls Spider-Man close and they kiss, with Sydney asking if he can feel the upcoming danger. While they kiss, Sydney tries to remove Spider-Man's mask, but he refuses. She then tells him she already knows that he's Peter Parker. Now guys, that is the basic overall bio of Silk. There's actually a lot more to her, but that's the basic gist of her. This drawing is pretty much, as always, coming to an end. Thank you guys once again for joining me. I will be doing more drawings. Sorry that it took so long to upload this video. I will not try and make it a habit of taking so long to upload to you guys. For you new people here, thank you once again for subscribing, and I'll check you guys and girls later. Midori out.